right, everybody, let's welcome on Zeke Rowan to the show. How you doing today, Zeke?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for popping out. You are officially our third guest in studio. You and DJ. Shout out to DJ back here.
Shout out DJ.
So Rowan, tell us a little bit about Zeke, how you got started in music. Kind of what was your introduction to it? Some of your inspirations maybe coming up as you were exploring the world of music.
Right. So when I was little, music was always a big part of my life because my mother was in a band. And I was born in California, so music scene around there is um, like diverse and such. She was in like a ska reggae band, so that was kind of like the first music I really like fell in love with.
That's dope. That's dope. That's the first time I've
Right.
heard that. Okay.
Yeah. And then it just kind of progressed from there. I started to my mom put me onto Bruno Mars. So really my mom's kind of like the key behind all of this.
I feel that.
She just enriched my music taste a lot when I was younger, and I think it really built like I'd say the sound that I have. But as I um got into like middle school and stuff like that, I started to listen to a band called The Drums. It has Johnny Pierce in it, and his like vocal range is like basically like kind of almost the same as mine because he can hit some falsettos, and so that kind of it gave me like a purpose to reach outside of my comfort zone and kind of follow whatever he was doing with it. So that's kind of a lot of the indie aspects you hear in my music. So that's where that stems from.
That's dope. That's super duper dope. So, at what age would you say like you really got into like, okay, maybe this is something that I can do. Maybe I should pursue this a little bit. Put some effort into it. Start getting like mics and working on GarageBand and all of that.
Right. Okay, so I started, dating back to middle school again, when I was about 11, I found an artist, Joji, pink guy, also. And so that's actually where I got GarageBand from, was he said that he uses it, and he like strictly used that for a long time because it was free also. So that kind of inspired me to get it. And then so by the time I was 12, I was already asking for like MIDI keyboards, and I actually got one when I was 12 for Christmas. And then so that's when I started making my first song. I think my first song was literally made that month using a MIDI keyboard, but it was not very good.
That's funny. That's funny. No, we all start there. We all start
Right.
there. And I would say I think you got a hit. How old are you now?
I'm 18 now.
You're
Yeah.
18. Oh, so
People
you
don't believe
still-
it. It's the genetics.
You're still a
but
baby.
it's true though.
Oh, you're making me feel old. I just turned 27 and I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Really?
what
That day I would not have known.
But no, that's super dope. So you produce, write, engineer everything yourself.
Yes. Yeah, everything is done strictly by me. All the instruments are played or like generated by me. Like I actually don't have a drum kit or electric drums. The only thing that's different about my music is I'm not playing the drums. I use like the drum pad on the MIDI keyboard. Yeah. So that's where the acoustic drums come from. And
That's dope.
yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so what would you say as an 18-year-old now? One of the biggest lessons you learned from being 11, 12 and kind of getting started and playing around in music to now, what would you say your like either like the growth that you've had or like what are some of the things that you've learned in making music over that 6-7 year span?
Right. So the most important lesson I've learned is to always be like original, like be yourself. You don't want to ride on somebody else's coattails, that only gets you so far. Like you look at artists, big artists, they were all mocked for something at some point, and then all of a sudden they're like globally known household names, stuff like that. So always just be yourself, because I was kind of I was trying to be like like super cool or whatever, or I try to be like nonchalant about my music. I'm very chalant actually, and I realized that that's not the way to do things, and you just have to be yourself 100%.
Man, that's a bar right there. Like I remember when I first got started in music, I didn't tell anybody, and then I got super out there with it, and then I didn't tell anybody, and it was like you cannot be You cannot be nonchalant. You cannot act like this thing doesn't
Right.
exist.
You gotta act like you care
You
about
gotta
it.
act like you care about it. You gotta act like you know, you actually want to do this. So for you, and this is something that even to this day, I don't necessarily see a lot of artists who, you know, like work on music. They don't put it out. Like I remember I was going to my and I was in a program. I don't know if they still have this program. It's called Trio, and I went to my Trio advisor, and we had a talk about music. And at that point in time, I was like, I was in my phase of not telling anybody, so I didn't like put no music out.
Right.
And we had a whole conversation about putting the music out there. And I thought I was maybe like alone in that until I started to kind of get around some other artists and creatives, and we would talk a little bit more. And I learned that it's a lot of people who have a lot of music that they do not put out. So to have you as an 18-year-old who's been working on music since preteen days, at what point were you like, all right, let's put it out there. Let's put it out there. Let's not care if it's good or if it's bad or, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
Let's just put it out there.
Yeah, so it actually took me longer. I know I said I started producing when I was 12, but I didn't actually put it out until about 3 years later. I think I put out or I might have put out my first song. It was a song, I put it out on YouTube, and it's still on my YouTube channel. It's called, oh goodness, I haven't talked about this like at all. So it's hard to remember what, oh, overrated.
Mm.
And like, I was like 14, 15, struggling with like having friends, so I said like, oh, you're overrated, and I put that song out. That's kind of like what got me to put it out. But also because like people were saying, I was sharing it with some of my friends, like just MP3 files that I would send to their phone numbers so that they could give me some feedback on how the song was. And they would say, hey, this is really good, you should release this. And I was like, all right. So that kind of gave me hope. It was more so as soon as I realized that people were actually going to listen to it and that they actually enjoyed it, I wanted more people to enjoy it as well and
Mm-hmm.
relate to it, which is something that people say that they do a lot. They apply my music to their own lives, and that's what I want everybody to do when they listen to it.
That's fire. That's fire that you even think about that. We was putting out music back in the day, and we was just putting it out. I didn't care I didn't care if it inspired anybody. But no, that's super. That's dope. I remember. I'm still heartbroken about this to this day. Back, I feel old again. Back in my day, we had the iPods. I was about to say iPad. We
Right.
had the iPods, and I would write my music on my iPod. This is back before I didn't have an iPhone. I couldn't afford it. I was still Androided out, and had my little iPod, and I would write songs on there. And one day I dropped my iPod, and the screen cracked so bad I couldn't get back into it. It was not attached to any iCloud. I lost all of my
Oh no.
younger songs, and I say that because when I think about like my older music, and this is something that I talk to people about often, is the struggle of these older songs that we have versus the newer songs. And obviously we're like, ooh, back then it wasn't so good, it wasn't so good.
Oh
And we
yeah.
are, and a lot of people that I talk to, we have a similar story in that, let me just take the bad away, let me just upload it on here, let me take it away, let me just wipe the world of that. But for you to leave that, that first song on there, and then people to be able to go and listen to that and then just hear the growth of you as an artist and as a person,
Right.
how were you able to get to the point where you were like, I'm gonna leave this up, this is a part of the journey, it's part of the story?
Right. I think I think you said this earlier, but like everybody starts somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think showing that growth is like, that just shows, even more you see these people, like, okay, let's say it's like a fitness influencer or something. It's much more believable when they've made progress themselves. You see the progress, or like, let's say for example, you see the weight that they lost before you know that what they're doing is helping. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but be careful on the internet, y'all. But like, don't believe everything you see. But you can definitely believe in my music. It's authentic. But yeah, so that's like, that's kind of the point where I was at, where I was like, I don't think this is an issue. It's not embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my art. It's where I started. It's who I am. Part of me, for real.
That's dope. That's super duper dope. For you, is it with the rise of the internet and where the internet is now? is like I remember when I was probably like your age a little bit before then, um, it was the rise of the Instagram comics or Facebook comics. It was like the rise of like Instagram was kind of on its come up and people were making careers of social media. So it was a little bit easier during that time to kind of be seen because it wasn't as flooded. But like you
Right.
said, now everything, like, you can't believe everything you see on the internet, and it's such a flooded place. Can you speak to how you were able to find like your tribe via social media or the internet, or the journey you're taking in finding your tribe of people that it's like, all right, this, I'm making music for them and I'm
Right.
just reaching them?
Right. I guess I would say, I make my music for everyone. My music's for everybody to listen to, but a lot of the time actually, I want people to relate with whatever I actually went through. So, I guess it's just whatever I've been through. That's kind of my target audience too, to kind of help them like listen to my music, cuz it was healing for me to write it, and it's healing for me to listen to it over again. So, maybe it'll help somebody else heal up if they've gone through like the same thing. Cause like like I listen to a lot of like Adele. What is that, like the like she's like the queen of breakup songs, right? Like people listen to Adele all the time when they get
Love
broke.
Adele.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to do. Yeah.
That's super duper dope. When you think about like some of the themes in your music, like what are some of the things that you typically write about, that you kind of find yourself gravitating toward when it's time to make a new song, or some of the experiences that you have had that maybe have influenced some of the songs that you've written?
Right. So I'd say like pretty much 90% of my songs are written like straight out of just like what has happened to me in real life. So my lyrics is literally just me telling you stories of what has happened to me,
Mm.
and like, just in song form. So, like, for example, I have this one song, Fake It. It's literally about, I posted it today. It's about like this breakup I went through. It was nasty. Like, this girl had cheated on me and stuff. And so, yeah, so that's what I put that out, because it's literally what happened to me in my life. Like all my lyrics, everything, it's just literally story of my life. So, yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. That's ah.
Yeah.
All right, way to go. So when you see yourself in your career, what is it that, like, what are your goals? Like this, and I'll give you a little bit of a background. I usually give this spiel off air, but hey, whatever. We're here. So the radio station Uptown Sounds is really a platform that I try to use to educate, encourage, share war stories, if you will, of artists. And like
Right.
myself personally, I'm a producer. And so I work with a lot of artists, writing, producing for them. And in that, like I've been saying, I find very similar experiences across the board. But one thing that I've been talking to people about more, and one thing that I had to learn, I took a trip out to California and I went to a school that was run by these like super producers. I think they just closed the school up not too long ago, but it was called 1500 Sound Academy, and it was run by two guys by the name of James Fauntleroy and Lawrence Dobson, and they've worked with everybody from Jay-Z to Justin Timberlake and everybody in between. And one of the things when I went out there is I realized that there was no like one size fits all for a career, and it made
Hmm.
me, once I got back here, it made me really like take a step back, look around and say, okay, what is it that I want for my career? And that has changed and evolved from the time I started making music all the way up to like the beginning of this week. I'm
Right.
still figuring it out. So I ask artists now, and creatives just in general, not, just kind of as a, what do you see for yourself? Like, where do you see yourself going? Like, is the goal Bruno Mars? Is the goal, I want to write demos and I want to be able to get these in the hands of other artists? I want to be the person who brings projects to life, or even just, there's a whole career path of people who just kind of live somewhere in the middle where they make a living, they perform shows, they go on tours, they sell merch, they live their lives and they maybe aren't as well known as the, the Beyoncés or the Justin Biebers or what have you. What does Zeke Rowan see for himself in your career?
For my career, I want to be famous, but like you have to think about why you want to be famous. Like the reason why I want to be famous is because I want to touch as many lives as possible. Like mental health is a big thing. I try to mention when I um like do things like this, because it's really like people say we have all these therapists, all these, but no, like people are still suffering from mental illness and such. And it took me a long time. Like just as I got out of high school, I started, getting better with all that. But I know a lot of people out there are struggling, and there's not much, I can do about it. That I can't really think of any other way to get to people than, sharing what is my art.
Mm-hmm.
And when they listen to it, like it kind of is what I said before. I just want them to feel better about whatever they're going through. So yeah, that is my goal. I want to be famous, but for the right reasons. And I don't want to be like one of those celebrities that just gets famous and then kind of forgets about the people that haven't got them there. Because you are not, if you're famous, it's not because of you. It's because the people who, perceive you. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's because of them, and I want to be able to give back to people. So
That's super dope. You don't hear that often, where when someone expresses what they want, it's not necessarily just for them. To for me to get all of the glory, or for me to be the person that is celebrated or what have you, is for me to be able to reach more people,
hmm
on a bigger scale. And for you, you've mentioned like talking about mental health and kind of expressing uh the things that you've gone through, trying to help people through music. What kind of led you to having mental health as such a important part of your artistry in general? Like, what was there a certain experience, or if you're comfortable talking about it, or a certain moment in time where you said, this is something that I see as a big problem for my peers, my community, that I just want to help with?
right. So this is gonna be like two things, but they relate. So a lot of the reason why people have a hard time is because of money, and sometimes a lot of people can't make money because of some kind of illness. I actually have chronic migraines, and I have a arachnoid cyst on my brain,
Mm-hmm.
so I get headaches that are so bad I can't talk, I can't walk. All this is just, like you wouldn't even recognize me. It's like the doctors just describe it as a stroke. Basically, it
Mm.
looks like a stroke. It mimics a stroke, but it's not like a stroke. But it feels like one. And that happens for like the whole day. It takes me out for a whole day, and people don't realize that when you have things like that, like I don't know when I'm gonna get it. When it happens, I don't get the headache initially, and it's just like I can't see anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's scary because I could be driving and it happens. Like it could just happen out of nowhere. And then I have like a 30-minute interval to get somewhere before
Mm.
it hits, and then I just lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally forgot who my best friends were one time. It was pretty
Wow.
scary, but I normally get it back like the day after. It's just it confuses you so bad because like the pain is so bad. Um, and like a lot of the times, like I wanted to like die because of it, but then the way I keep myself alive is like, and by going through this, because this happens like every month. It's
Mm.
horrible, and it just like it's like unbearable. The thing that keeps me going is the fact that I could probably inspire somebody else like living with a chronic illness or
Mm-hmm.
something, because like it feels very alone. I don't know anybody else who has the problems I have, and that can be like very isolating. And I just want people to feel like they're not alone in terms of that. So like feeling alone contributes to a lot of the bad mental health. And I know a lot of people with chronic migraines, they tend to just kind of like, it's called suicide migraines because people do kill themselves over it. It's one of the worst pains. Like it's statistically like one of the worst pains. Like women who have cluster headaches say that it's worse than giving birth when they've given birth. But that's not for everybody. That's just like some evidence I heard one time like at
Yeah.
a migraine office. It was just, Yeah, so I just want people like me or people to think like who aren't like, let's just say like we can broaden this out, like if they have problems like chronic illnesses, or they don't think they're conventionally attractive, or the color that somebody is, or like the weight somebody is, like you can do whatever you want to do, you know, like it's your life and you only like live once, so why would you want to live it under like this rule that you can't do something just
Mhm.
because you have like to take one extra step, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's a heavy thing to carry so young too. Like um and that's something when I was younger, I used to get migraines super duper bad, but they were never that bad. But I know how bad they were.
Mhm.
So to imagine it going like 3 4 steps past that
Yeah.
and having to live with that, and you just now hitting 18, like, and that's the thing. I'm gonna go off on my old people rant real quick because I'm accepting the fact that I'm an elder now, so you guys gotta bear with me. In that, but no, like for you to be this young, and honestly, like for you to be this young and to have such a grasp on understanding and being able to express so eloquently what it is that you feel, and understanding that there's somebody else in the world, whether you know them, you can see them, you feel them, you touch them, that there is somebody else who is going through this exact same thing. So if I can be strong enough for the both of us, then maybe I can help you as well as help myself through this process. So big applause to you for being that, and for being able to express yourself in such a way that you can convey that, and you can convey the message, the heart of what that is to your core group of listeners. That's amazing. That's incredible. And I already know, like I said again, to be this young and for you to have so much ahead of you, and how much this is going to evolve and grow, and just your community is going to grow with you. So that's incredible. That's incredible. I got a couple quick hitters with you. I like to play this game with folks. So let's say 50 years from now, what did that make you? 68?
Yep. Oh
Biopic
my
time.
gosh.
Biopic time. We'll pretend that today is 50 years from now. Who would you say you would want to play you in your biopic?
Oh goodness. This is kind of hard. Probably like one of those like toddler Bruno Mars impersonators.
Ah,
I think one of them would probably be bound to look like me. People say I look like Bruno Mars all the time,
I
so I
can
don't
see
even
it.
know. Let's see if Bruno Mars has a kid. Maybe he'll be it or something. If he has a
Okay.
son or
Okay.
something.
Little Bruno.
Okay,
Little
yeah,
Bruno.
right.
Listen, get ready. Acting classes.
Right, but I
Uh,
would somebody that I want somebody to actually look like me, somebody that actually looks like me, because you see like I don't even know, like some of these people when they make biopics about them, they don't look like
they don't look like them.
no, they don't look like him.
They don't look like them.
Yep,
I,
yeah,
I have a big gripe. The Michael Jackson. I don't know if you guys seen the trailer for the new Michael Jackson movie. Okay, Michael's being played by his nephew. Whatever.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Quincy Jones. Whoever they have play Quincy Jones looks nothing like Quincy Jones. He don't sound like Quincy Jones, and
Oh
it's
my
throwing me
god,
off. It's throwing me
yes.
completely off. So I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Oh man, that's funny.
What's your favorite show right now?
Oh, right now 911. It's
911.
like
Oh,
I
I know.
think it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a firefighter show.
I know it. I know it. I just watched
Yeah.
the newest episode the other day.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
which
and
one?
Breaking Bad. Shout out Breaking
I
Bad. I
gotta watch
love that
Breaking
show.
Bad. I've never
Oh
seen
man.
it, and I hear everybody talk about it. Gotta watch it.
Oh,
Gotta
yes,
watch
you
it.
have to, cause then you got after that you gotta watch Better Call Saul and then El Camino.
Oh, see, now I gotta you adding to my list of shows right
Yep,
now.
yep.
Okay, let me see. 911. You like Nashville, the original, or Lone Star?
I
I know they
mean,
cut Lone Star off, which I'm a little salty about because that was my favorite one.
really, okay. So I haven't seen Lone Star.
Oh, you gotta
I've
watch
just gotten into Nashville, and I like the music aspects that
it.
are
Do
in it
you? I'm
because
anti
there's that
Nashville, so I
one.
feel away.
I haven't seen. I've only seen like the first episode
Okay,
for real.
okay.
Like, and that girl was singing, and I was like, okay, girl, you got some chops.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but the original, It's so OG.
OG.
Bro, I love
OG
Athena.
911.
Athena's such a baddie. She's
Shout out to
like,
Athena.
shout out Athena for real.
I'm feeling away because they killed Bobby off.
What?
You didn't see? Oh my goodness!
No
Spoiler alert!
way!
I'm so
What?
sorry.
He just married Athena.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were caught up. My apologies. Don't even worry about it.
Just kidding. He didn't die. Just
Spoiler
kidding.
alert. Just pretend it never happened. Pretend it never happened. Don't worry about it. It's a lot.
Thinking about that.
There's a lot that's going to happen in between. You will forget. Don't worry. You got some time.
Man.
My bad. I'm gonna keep my unsolicited comments to myself. Okay.
Oh god.
If we were to go through your phone right now, who are like what's the top 3 songs that would come up?
Ooh, right now probably I just covered this song. I did an Instagram reel about it because I don't know music theory, by the way. Like I don't know anything about it. Like everything I do is by ear. Like I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything about it. So and Charlie Puth, because he inspires me. He has perfect pitch, and my choir teacher said I would have perfect pitch, but I don't know notes. So I guess I'm not there yet. But yeah, but and then probably Nangs by Tame Impala, and then The Flowers by The Drums.
I love that. What if you were stuck on an island, just you, water, a little bit of food, iPod, only one album. We throwing it back to the iPod days. iPod, one album, and some headphones. What album is that?
In Rainbows, shout out Radiohead.
Like you knew you.
Because me and him have actually had this conversation before, and I think I literally asked him this exact question, and I think the answer was In Rainbows, the first one though, the OG.
I can appreciate that y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Does he give it to? I can appreciate that y'all prepping for this day to come.
Oh yeah, we were excited, so I was very excited.
I feel that. All right, one more question for you. So, is it just music for you? Are we trying to get into acting? Are we trying to get into full blown productions? And what other creative endeavors could we possibly see Zeke stumble into?
Right. So I'm planning on going to college for psychology. So I want to become a therapist, but I want to start my own music therapy practice. So that's just kind of like part of the dream right now. It could change, but as of right now, that's what I'm kind of aiming for.
That's dope.
Yeah, I want to be able to like do a lot of like nonprofit stuff though. Yeah. So but I do have to have a license for that. So I can't I can't just help people without a license cuz that wouldn't be real. But yeah. So I want to help like kids, teenagers who